So in this clip, we are going to see Katy Miller, who is the wife of Donald Trump's right-hand man, Stephen Miller, suffer a complete meltdown and do what it is that we see so many people that stand for Israel do when they pull the anti-Semitic card when nothing was said or even insinuated that could be deemed anti-Semitic. As usual, let's watch this clip in full together, and I'm going to break it down and give you guys my thoughts towards the end.
Yeah,
I never heard of that song.
Israel slaughters. Hold on.
Okay, I mean, it
slaughters
exists.
Our children over and over and over again, and all we do is and Piers, this is really important. It's not that the American people are Islamophobic. It's that American media, mainstream media, and almost all the Israeli supporters are the most bigoted, racist people in the country. They despise Muslims. All they do is smear Muslims 24/7 while pretending that they're concerned about bigotry, but only when it affects their beloved Israel. So they're like, oh my God, I'm so concerned about anti-Semitism. Oh, you said something slightly true, actually very true about Israel, but it hurt my feelings. You're an anti-Semite, fire him, cancel him, etc. This is all thuggery. There's a bunch of pro-Israeli forces inside America. They've taken over our Congress. They've taken over mainstream media. And not only do they try to smear, cancel, fire, and arrest anyone who criticizes Israel, but on top of that, they now demand that you be racist and bigoted against Muslims. And it's so hilarious.
If you want to be specific with your words,
because Mamdani, hold on, let me finish. So let me finish. So now they go, okay, even though Mamdani has never said anything anti-Semitic, nothing against Jews, and even though the majority of Jews, according to polling, are supporting Mamdani, 67% of younger Jewish Americans in New York, that's under 45, are supporting Mamdani, we're going to lie anyway, and we're going to say, you know what, he's a dirty Muslim, and you should hate him for supporting Muslims. And that's what almost all of the Israeli supporters are doing, almost all of mainstream media, and that sick, disgusting Andrew Cuomo, who's as bigoted as it gets.
Right, guys, just give me 2 seconds. I'm literally going to skip ahead because it's an advert. Let's get straight back into it.
All right,
now
Katy.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Why is it that every time someone wants to criticize Mamdani, it immediately comes back to the Jews and the anti-Israel movement instead of actually talking about his viewpoints, which is that he
Nobody
wants to
said
make
Jews. You just said it. You always do that. We say Israel, you say Jews. We say Israel is a government. Please don't make it about Jewish Americans. And you come back and go, you have to make it about Jewish Americans. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Is Israel a Jewish state? Yes or no?
Yeah.
First of all, okay, so Saudi Arabia is a Muslim state, and you can criticize it all day long, all day long. There's no special protection
because
for
what you're doing is you're decoding language
that calls themselves
American
a Jewish state or a Muslim
state, and to say that we should not be here and we should not be in existence, and that you would be happy for other people like Mamdani to use it.
I want Israel to be safe.
Nothing of the sort.
Nonsense. You're totally lying. It's very normal for a Miller to be completely and utterly lying. That's not true. We want Israel to be a safe haven for Jews, 1967 borders. But you guys say, no, more Palestinian land. Take Gaza, take the West Bank, take southern Lebanon. Your greed knows no bounds. And by the way, you and your husband are supposed to be working for America, not for Israel. I think you're betraying this country.
All right, Cenk, let Katy...
Piers,
right,
if I could just jump in here
on
a quick note.
Yeah, Omar, I'll come to you, but let Katy finish her point, then I'll come to you. Katy.
No, Piers, quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from people like you against my husband, against my family, and my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your children into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow racist and bigoted attacks against one of your commentators just for the sake that he will not
hang on.
speaking.
Katy, to be clear, he inserted
a line that says the Miller's lie. Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish? Come on, Piers, where are you?
What?
Where are you standing?
God, you're so
Katy,
pathetic.
if I can speak.
Everything's your
if I can speak,
anti-Semite. Fire him, cancel him, America. Oh my God, Israel's feelings have been hurt. Why don't you work for this country?
All right, can we try and get
this country instead of Israel?
Can we try? All right, can we please? All right, let's stop the ad hominem attacks. Let's try and get this back to a more civilized debate, which is actually about the likely incoming mayor of New York. Katy, I was giving you.
So, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts about this. First and foremost, I want to address Piers Morgan. And the reason why I want to address Piers Morgan is because I have seen Piers Morgan, when he is attacked, I have seen him go on the attack against somebody that has tried to attack him. That was the weakest I have ever seen Piers Morgan. The weakest in terms of coming back at someone. And even in him coming back at someone, he's telling Cenk to stop. But what Cenk is saying is 100% true. And understand, I am not someone who agrees with Cenk all the time. But what Cenk is saying is 100% true. The right so constantly are always talking about cancel culture. Remember, this is what they were big on prior to Donald Trump coming into office. They were big on cancel culture, weren't they? But now all of a sudden, they're completely fine with everyone being cancelled who doesn't align with their values and their views. And that's exactly what Katy Miller tried to do in this exchange. She basically said to Piers Morgan, because this is something that we see a lot of Israel supporters do. They believe that they are higher than anyone else and they should be listened to and have all the power. She basically tried to say to Piers, listen, I'm going to come off of this interview if you are going to allow one of your commentators to spew racist rhetoric to me, an Israel supporter. But the crazy thing is, that's not what he said. That's not what Cenk said, and that's not what Cenk done. But Piers Morgan, because he's so hell-bent on aligning with Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and this administration, he doesn't want to come at her with the full force that he got at other people with. Take a look at some of the videos on this channel where we've discussed Piers Morgan and Piers Morgan Uncensored. Take a look and you will see that Piers Morgan, when he goes after someone, he goes after them aggressive. Second point I wanted to talk about in regards to things that Katy Miller said. This is something that unfortunately we see a lot from people that are defenders of Israel and the IDF. I'm not going to say Jews or Jewish people, because exactly like Cenk said, you know, we don't want to conflate the two. We do not want to. But people that are supporters of Israel, supporters of the IDF, supporters of what it is that Netanyahu has done and the genocide that took place, this is what it is that they do. If you say anything critical of these guys, they automatically revert to anti-Semitic. You're being anti-Semitic. You're being racist. That's what it is that they automatically revert to. And to be 100% honest, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the reason why it's ridiculous is because these people can be criticized. The Israeli government can be criticized, as well as the IDF, because we have seen things with our own two eyes. We've seen reporting that is worthy of criticizing because of the actions that it is that these guys have done. But too many times we see that people, like I said, that support Israel, that support the IDF, they believe that they shouldn't be criticized at all. And when they are criticized, you see meltdowns exactly like what it is that Katy Miller done in this video. Absolutely disgusting stuff. And then to go a step further, to try and put words in Cenk's mouth and insinuate that he's being anti-Semitic and being racist. It's just disgusting. It is. And you always see a lot of people on the right, when they say something racist and someone calls out their racism, they say that word's just thrown around too much. It has no meaning, no more. The problem with what it is that Katy Miller is doing is that to be anti-Semitic is an actual thing, and it should be called out when it is actually done. But because people like Katy Miller are calling things anti-Semitic and calling it out for things that aren't anti-Semitic when no one is being anti-Semitic, you're literally losing the power that it is that word actually holds. Because people can now just turn around and say, you call everybody that. Absolutely embarrassing moment here for Katy Miller in this clip. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below on Katy Miller and this complete meltdown and trying to get Cenk Uygur cancelled on this clip. Let me know all your guys' thoughts. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next clip.